Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Civilized Guy. I hope all of you are doing great. Today's topic is logistic growth curve, its importance, and why you should study it for competitive examination, even though its uh, weightage is not much. Before moving further into the video, I would request you to please subscribe to my channel if you are new and hit on the bell notification for receiving further updates in the future if I release any new video. And if you like the video at the end, please like it and share it with your friends. It motivates me to um, further make videos for you guys. So without further ado, let's start the topic of logistic growth curve. So what is the logistic growth curve? Logistic growth curve is nothing but the graph which is obtained after plotting the population on the y-axis and decade on the x-axis. So it can be said to be the uh, trend that uh, natural things, that is human beings or else any living creature, follows with time when exposed to any certain economic or else any type of resource constraint. Resources may be food, water, land. When they are exposed to such constraints in nature, all of the living organisms follow this logistic growth curve. So why you should study it? Because this topic is a crucial step in understanding the further topics such as for population forecasting, which includes the linear growth rate method, geometric growth rate method, incremental increase method, decreasing growth rate method. So in order to understand where to apply these methods, to what populations you have to apply these methods, you have to understand the basics, at least the basics of this logistic growth curve method. So before going into the details of why you should study it, you should have a certain understanding of the mathematical part of this method. So as you can see in the left side, I have written three equations which may be complicated at first. When you look at it at the first, it may be very complicated, but stay with me, okay? This is not so complicated as it seems, and it is not so important also to dive into the details of all the terms that are involved here. You can just say that these are constants, a, b, n are all constants. It is not important for us, but it is important to understand why this method will help in understanding our further topics easily. So these two equations you see at the first, these are the equations that you will find in textbooks, that are standard textbooks of environmental engineering. And the third one you see, it will be a relatively new equation because it is not found in any of the textbooks. It is a relatively new equation, but it was a modified equation. It is a modified equation given by P.F. Verhulst. So this equation, I've put certain inputs into this equation, and I've generated a graph which is the logistic growth curve in Excel sheet. So this orange color curve you are seeing here is the curve obtained after plotting the population versus the decade, and the gray color curve is the curve obtained after you plot population increase, rate of increase of population versus time. So this whole curve is nothing but the superimposition is obtained after superimposition of the population versus decade graph and the rate of increase of population versus decade graph. So when you superimpose these two graphs, you'll get the third graph, which is a logistic growth curve graph. So in this population versus decade graph, population is on the y-axis and decade is on the x-axis, and in the rate of increase of population versus decade graph, rate of increase of population, that is increase of population with time, is on the y-axis and decade is on the x-axis. So this curve is mostly seen in all the textbooks you find in libraries or else any bookstores. So this is the very popular graph. Moving on, what I've done is I've just put some values, say p naught, p sat, and all these values into this equation, and I've obtained a table using Excel. So what is p naught and what is p sat? Before discussing this, I would like to tell you a brief concept of what is p sat. P sat is nothing but the saturation population. So what is saturation population? whenever any living organism, as I said, is exposed to a certain limitation of resources, may be economical, uh, natural resources, any type of resources, it will follow the logistic growth curve, as I said. But as the time progresses, as you can see in this example that I've taken, a human population in an area where they start with thousand people in the given area. As the time progresses or increases, the population is going on increasing, as you can see. But at this point 54, which I've highlighted, the row 54, this row, the last row, is highlighted in green because this is important. This represents that point beyond which there is no further increase in the population. So the area where the people are staying uh, has been exhausted of its economical or any other resources, so that's why there is no further increase in the population. So that is nothing but the saturation population. What is p0? P0 is the initial population, and k is the growth rate. So what I've done in this slide is I've just detailed all the different points that are involved, and this understanding will help you in understanding the concepts of population forecasting. So as you can see in the from the points 0 to 1, the growth of the population is relatively geometric or exponential. So when you come across problems that are involving relatively new population, you can use the geometric or exponential growth rate, because in this curve you are seeing the geometric or exponential trend. So similarly from points 1 to points 3, yeah, as you can see, the trend is linear, the growth trend is linear. So this trend is usually seen in relatively old populations, and when you come across problems involving relatively new old populations, you can go for the linear growth rate method, as this graph is also linear. And from points 3 to 4, you can see there is a relative decrease in the population growth, and hence as the population is decreasing, and when problems are given to you where population are present, where the rate of growth is decreasing, you can use the decreasing rate of growth method. And as you can see here, there is another equation, that is incremental increase equation. This equation can be used for any of the population, that is whether it is a relatively new population or a relatively old population. You can use it for both population. That is the advantage. And this point 2 represents that point at which the rate of increase of population is maximum. That is here, as you can see in this graph of rate of increase of population versus decade, this point 2 represents that point at which the population has reached its maximum growth rate. That is the growth of population with time is maximum at this point. And this graph is also detailed in the same way as the previous one, where points 1 2 3 4 are also the same, and 0 to 1 you can apply the geometric or exponential growth rate, and from points 1 to 2 you can apply 1 to 3 you can apply linear growth rate, and 3 to 4 you can apply the decreasing rate of growth method. And this is further represented in tabular form, as you can see over here. So in the tabular form, when you move from decade 0 to decade 7, there is an increase in population exponentially. So when you are presented with problems involving such situations, and say you are in decade 4 and you have to forecast population in decade 7, and the growth rate is exponential, you can use the geometric or exponential growth rate method. And from points 8 to 15, if you are presented with such old populations, why is it old? Because see, the initial year is 1800, and at decade 8 it is 1880. So the population has been there for 80 years, so it is relatively old population. So when you are presented with such problems and you are told to forecast for another 20 years, or else 2 decades or 3 decades, you can easily do that by using this linear growth rate method. So at last, moving to the next part of the table. So from point 16 to point 25, that is this point, from point 16 to point 25, as you are seeing that there is a decrease in the rate of growth of population, but there is an increase in population, but the rate of growth of population is decreasing. You are not seeing this in this table, because this is just the table of the decade versus population though is increasing, the rate of growth is decreasing. So in such situations you can use the rate of growth of decreasing rate of growth method. So this highlighted row represents that point, that situation beyond which the rate of growth of population is not so high. See over here, in the decade 25 and decade 26, the increase in population is not so high. It is around say 33 people or 34 people have increased in population. So it's not so high for a decade. So as you go on down to the table, the increase is not so high. So so that is what is represented in this graph. After point 25 it is stable, that is population is not increasing. That is why at this point, at point 54, you can see that 1,50,000 saturation population is reached. So in today's video we discussed about logistic growth curve and its importance in understanding the population forecasting. I hope you have understood the topic well, and I request you again to subscribe to my channel if you are new, like the video, and share the video with your friends. Don't forget to hit on the bell notification for receiving any updates if I post another video in the future. Thank you guys.